What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Tony Reads. Okay, so this is like my favorite type of video. What's my second favorite type? My first favorite type of video is actually doing a book haul because I love to shop for books. I love to get new books and all that. So that's my favorite type. But my second favorite type of video to do is not a book review, but it's actually my anticipated reads. So now, as you guys know, it's now spring or whatever. So getting into a new season and everything. And so I have a whole new list of books that I want to read during the spring. And so some of these actually, I think a couple of them I've already mentioned in other videos, and they just keep getting moved in the TBR, but I really want to read these ones, and I want to make sure I read them in the next couple of months, preferably like in April. I want to read these books. Okay, so these books are in no particular order, but it's just some that I picked out. And if I'm not mistaken, most, if not all, have been recommendations from you subscribers. So again, thank you. Okay, so the first book that I want to talk to you guys about that I'm really excited to read in the very near future is a book called Murder Road. And it is by Simone St. James. I've actually never heard of this author until at least one or maybe more subscribers recommended this book to me. And so I went and looked it up to see if it's something that sounded like something I'd be interested in. And it really is. So the summary is a young couple finds themselves haunted by a string of gruesome murders. Anything when you say gruesome murders, that really gets my attention because I'm actually, movie-wise, I'm a thriller and horror fan. And book-wise, it's more thriller, but I might eventually get a little bit into horror. But anyway, the phrase gruesome murders always grabs my attention and normally is something that I want to check out. So it's July 1995. April and Eddie have taken a wrong turn. They're looking for the small resort town where they plan to spend their honeymoon. When they spot what appears to be a lone hitchhiker along the deserted road, they stop to help.
You's a fool.
But not long after the hitchhiker gets into the car, they see the blood seeping from her jacket and a truck barreling down Atticus Line after them. I don't even need to read any further. Actually, I'm not going to read any further on this little summary because that is enough. I totally want to read this book just based off of that. It sounds like a horror movie that I would definitely watch. This is something very different than any book that I've ever read because I don't think in any book that I read they picked up a hitchhiker. There is another book where they took a wrong turn or something like that, never wound up at the resort they were trying to get to or something. But it wasn't like this. There was no hitchhiker. There was no crazy truck following them or anything like that. So I definitely want to read this book. And whoever recommended this, thank you very much because I don't even know if I would have found this on my own. So thank you. Oh, one more thing I want to mention about that book is that it only has 352 pages. So that's right in the realm of the amount of pages I want to read. Because like I always tell you guys, I don't like to read books that are too long. So if it's over 400, it's going to be really hard for me to even pick it up, let alone stick with it. So this 352 is pretty good. Okay, so the next book is called Ask for Andrea, and it's by, I'm probably going to butcher the name, Noelle, is it Illy or Ely or something like that? It's I-H-L-I, Noelle West Illy. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Again, this one was another one that was recommended by a subscriber or more than one subscriber, so thank you very much. This one has 295 pages. That is perfect for me. You guys, I prefer shorter reads, just in case you didn't notice that. The other reason, I'm gonna tell you guys the other reason, not only was this for sure was recommended by at least one subscriber, but not only was it recommended by a subscriber or subscribers, Frida McFadden, who is my favorite author, for those of you who don't know, actually recommended this book, and she said it was like one of the best books she's read lately or something like that. So if Frida likes it, I'm pretty positive I'm gonna like it, so I can't wait to check this one out. It says Megan, Brescia, and Sky have just one thing in common. They were all murdered by the same man. Okay, so that seems kind of weird. I don't know how this is going to turn out. He hunted them online, masquerading as an eligible bachelor. Uh-oh. Then he played the perfect gentleman, a thick layer of charm and a 1,000-watt smile, hiding the fact that his first dates end in shallow graves. Okay, that's crazy. Got me already. He's gotten away with murder 3 times now. The only thing that might keep him from killing again, the women he murdered. Okay, what? Megan, Brescia, and Sky might be dead, but they're not gone. Okay, that's weird. They found each other and they won't rest until they find a way to stop him. The hunt is on. So I don't know. This is in thriller. I mean, just reading that, it sounds like some ghost, but I don't really think it's gonna be ghost. I don't know. I don't know how this plot is gonna turn out. I have no idea. That's why I'm kind of interested in it. But it sounds like it's like gonna be the three ghosts haunting him or something like that. But I know that that's not what it's gonna be. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Thanks, subscribers, and also thank you, Big Frida, for recommending this book. Okay, so the next book I can't wait to read this spring is a book called Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. And this one was recommended several times by subscribers. I thank you guys very much. But in addition to that, my sister also recommended it. And the good part about it, this is like the best part, she already has the book. She did not read it. And you guys, I have a video with my sister that's recommending thrillers to me. She didn't put this book on the video though, which is kind of like weird. I'm gonna have to ask her about that. But she does. She has this book and she must have bought it for a reason. It's just like on her TBR or whatever. But I don't even have to pay a dime for this book. So that's just wonderful. So this author, Alice Feeney, I think that's her name. She's a well-known author. I've never read any books by her, but she's known. She has a book like that. Her popular one is called Rock, Paper, Scissors, which if I like this book, Daisy Darker, I'm probably going to check that one out too. It says Daisy Darker was born with a broken heart. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Now, after years of avoiding each other, Daisy Darker's entire family is assembling for Nana's 80th birthday party in her crumbling Gothic house on a tiny tidal island. Okay, that's creepy already. The family arrives, each of them harboring secrets. I love secrets. When the tide comes in, they will be cut off from the rest of the world for 8 hours. Okay, so that's spooky. So they're basically going to be trapped with each other, you know. But at the stroke of midnight, as the storm rages, Nana is found dead. And an hour later, the next family member follows. Okay, this is getting like crazy. Trapped on an island where Trapped on an island where someone is killing them one by one, the Darkers must reckon with their present mystery as well as their past secrets before the tide goes out and all is revealed. As seen on the Today Show and picked by Book of the Month, Daisy Darker's family secrets and Alice Feeney's trademark shocking twist will keep readers riveted. So I guess Alice Feeney is known for making shocking twists, which I really love. This book just sounds good. They're like trapped with each other. A mystery is like within their own family. Somebody's like murdering. That's just like crazy. It's off the chain. So this book sounds really good. It gets like really great reviews all over the place. So again, I can't wait to read that one. And the subscribers actually recommended this one like really early, like in my earlier videos. And so I just like I said, it's been recommended several times. So again, I can't wait to read this one. And this one has a theme that's a storyline that's not the same usual, like some woman that can't talk and is trapped up in a room by her husband or something like that. It's totally different. So I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, so the next book is called She's Not Sorry, and it's by Mary Kubica. I think that's how you pronounce her last name, Kubica. I don't actually know if this one was recommended by a subscriber, but I do know I've mentioned this book before, like when I said my anticipated reads for 2024. So, and somehow this has popped back up on my list again. I really want to get it read this spring. So this book is 336 pages, which is perfect. And so the summary is the tagline, everyone has secrets, but not everyone has remorse. A terrible accident. Megan Michaels is trying to find balance between being a single mom and working full-time as an ICU nurse when a patient named Caitlin arrives in her ward with a traumatic brain injury. They say she jumped from a bridge and plunged over 20 feet to the train tracks below. A shocking revelation. When a witness comes forward with new details about Caitlin's fall, it calls everything they know into question. Was Caitlin actually pushed, and if so, by whom and why? No one is safe. Megan lets herself get close to Caitlin until she's deeply entangled in Caitlin's and her family's lives. Only when it's too late does she realize that she and her daughter could be the next victims. A tense, compelling thriller with completely gasp-worthy twist. I want to gasp. I told you guys I gasped one time in one book I read, and that was All the Sinners Bleed. It's kind of weird to make me gasp or whatever, but there was a part in there that made me gasp, and that's actually never happened before when I'm reading any other book. So I want to gasp, and I'm hoping that this book is the one that's going to do it, like they say. So Mary Kubica has other books, like one called The Maid, The Good Girl, The Other Misses, Local Woman Missing, and Just the Nicest Couple. I've actually heard of Local Woman Missing. So if I like this book, she's a known author and everything. I'm gonna check out some more of her books as well. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, last but definitely not least, and this is another book that I've actually mentioned before. I'm pretty positive it was on my most anticipated thriller reads for 2024. And again, it's rehashed back into my memory, to my list again. So it's something that I want to really read. And this book is called The New Couple in 5B. This book has 387 pages. That's kind of like pushing my limit, but that's fine because I think I'm really going to like this book. The author is Lisa Unger. I've never read any books by her before. I don't remember if this was recommended by any subscribers, but one of my fellow booktubers, Danny Reads, is either reading this or has read it. And she mentioned in one of her videos that it has like a supernatural twist. And so I actually like that. And like I said, I read like a lot of Riley Sager and his books. It doesn't end up being like a ghost or anything like that, but it has like a lot of spooky things, like you thinking you see a ghost, noises in the middle of the night, lights coming on, and all that kind of stuff. So I do like that kind of theme. So I thought, based off of what Danny said, it actually made me want to read this book even more. But anyway, so it says a couple inherits an apartment with a spine-tingling past in this unput-downable, that's like one of my favorite words, unput-downable thriller from the New York Times bestselling author of Secluded Cabin, Sleep 6. And I've actually heard of that book as well. And if I like this book, even if I don't really like this book, I'm probably going to check that book out as well later on. But it says Rosie and Chad Lowen are barely making ends meet in New York City when they receive life-changing news. Chad's late uncle has left them his luxury apartment at the historic Windermere in glamorous Murray Hill. With its pre-war elegance and impeccably uniformed doorman, the building is the epitome of old New York charm. One would almost never suspect the dark history lurking behind its pretty maintained facade. At first, the building and its eclectic tenants couldn't feel more welcoming. But as the Lowens settle into their new home, Rosie starts to suspect that there's more to the Windermere than meets the eye. Why is the doorman ever present? Why are there cameras everywhere? And why have so many gruesome crimes occurred there throughout the years? When one of the neighbors turns up dead, Rosie must go to the truth about the Windermere before she too falls under its dangerous spell. So this one actually sounds like a little bit like Lock Every Door by Riley Sager, but I actually really love that book. And so I like the theme of like spooky, haunted, or you think it's haunted, apartment buildings with strange things going on, kind of like upscale New York or whatever. I do like that theme. So this book really, catches my attention, and not to mention that someone has mentioned that it has like a supernatural little feel to it or whatever. I do like that. So this book, again, has made its way into another video, made its way into another list, and I'm for sure, and really hold me to this one, I'm for sure going to read this one sometime this spring, and I can't wait. So anyway, yeah, that's my little list for right now. I'm sure it's going to change. I know I'm going to read, that was what, 1, 2, 3, that was 5 books. I'm going to read more than 5 books in the spring for sure. But that's just something that I really want to get my hands on pretty quickly. None of them are too long. They sound like spine tingling and all that kind of stuff. Sound like they're really going to keep my interest, so I can't wait. I have some other books still stacked in my TBR that I need to get to as well. And I want to try to read all my print copy books, and then I just want to move on. I'm thinking about just being straight Kindle going forward, but I'm not sure if I'm really going to do that or not. But anyway, if you like this video, thumbs up. If you've read any of the books that I mentioned without giving any spoils or anything, I want to hear what you think about them. And also, again, as I say, as usual, like I said on my list, a lot of these are recommended by subscribers. I read and research what you guys put into my comments, so I really appreciate it, and keep the recommendations coming. If you're not already a subscriber to my channel, go ahead and subscribe, and also click on the notification button so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. And I will see you in the next one.